So Mark, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Brilliant. Tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
Right, well, my name is Mark Russell. I was born in Birmingham. Was brought up in a Christian home, a very strict Christian home. My parents taught me Christian values. I was sheltered a lot from the outside influences of the world in terms of the music and the drink culture and the clubbing and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So you were brought up on gospel music?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Most definitely, yes.
Who would you say inspires you and who's your favourite artist?
Well, my favourite artist of all time is none other than the man himself, Mr. Andraé Crouch. He is my inspiration. I've learned so much from him over the years in terms of playing music, writing songs, arranging, the full works.
So you say that you play music. What exactly do you play?
I play piano and I play drums.
Okay, brilliant. And you're a songwriter?
Yes, I've been writing songs now for a number of years. I've written quite a few songs over the past few years. Yeah.
What inspires you to put a pen to paper and write songs?
When I first started songwriting in my teens, what I used to do was to take other people's music and put words to it, which worked quite well, you know. But then it comes a time when I started thinking, well, actually it's not my own song, it's somebody else's song that I'm borrowing. And then I started to be inspired to compose my own music and put my own words to my own music. And the inspiration comes from a number of different things, from your own experiences, from other people's experiences. People, someone might say something, one phrase, and I'm thinking, wow, that's an idea for a song, and you start writing. So that's how my songwriting has really developed, really.
Right. Now we're talking about Cov West Production, and you're obviously the founder of Cov West Production.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? What made you want to start your own production company?
Well, I guess, music has been a major part of my life ever since I was 12 years old. As I go through my life, I dedicated my life more and more to music and serving God through music. And I remember during my probably early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I had a sort of a vision that I wanted to do something a bit more than I was currently doing at the time. Creating CDs, music videos, really getting in touch with other artists, choirs and soloists and so forth. And I guess at the time then, I didn't have enough experience, I didn't have enough of the vision to really make it happen. It was the right vision but the wrong time. And I sort of went through life, but the vision sort of died a little bit. And then after a few years, the vision sort of spring up now and again, and then died, and spring up and then died, until last year when the vision sort of resurfaced. But it stuck with me, and it was become more dominant. And towards the end of last year, I realized now was the time for that vision to come to life, to materialize, and then as a result of that, Cov West was born.
I suppose that was that most frustrating part when you know that God has given you a vision, yet you've got to wait and wait and wait because you think, is it me that's thinking it or is it definitely God's vision?
Yeah.
How did you cope with that?
I struggled from time to time, and really towards the end of last year when it really came back, I questioned, is it really God? Because one of the issues with any vision or any organization and any company is people. Because you got to work with people, and you always got to make sure you got the right people with you, and I guess I struggle with having the right people. Have I got the right people? And I felt God was saying you have got the right people, and He showed me the different people. And the first person I approached was Ian Campbell, and I guess the reason why I approached Ian Campbell because he was part of that vision. And I couldn't see why, because he wasn't a musician, he wasn't a singer. He had no part in music whatsoever, but yet he was a very prominent part of this vision. So I thought to myself, well, if I approach Ian and present him with this vision, and if he says yes, he's on board, then I know God is speaking. And so I guess that's what happened. And he says, yes, I'm on board. So from that, I went to other people. I went to Tim, I went to Andy, I went to Frank, I went to different people, and they all says, yes, we're on board. So I knew that God was absolutely preparing people's heart
Yeah.
for this vision, and you know, the rest is really history.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Where do you go to find obviously talent? Do you go out to churches and seek talent, or do they come to you? How does that work?
Well, I go to a lot of churches and visit a lot of churches and meet a lot of artists and choirs and stuff like that and build relationships with them, which is what I'm doing right now. That's the process of what I'm going through right now. So that's how we start to get a lot of artists. What we're hoping to do in the sort of coming months, and certainly from next year onwards, is that we're going to sort of step up our, if you like, our recruitment drive in terms of looking and bringing more artists on board. So, you know, it's going to be a very busy time, but I believe that, you know, artists will, as Cov West name goes out there, artists will come and notice Cov West, realize what we're doing, and request to be part of what we're doing. So,
Awesome. And where can people find out about you? Do you have a website? Do you have all of that?
absolutely. Our website address is www.covwestproduction.co.uk. They can log on there, and there's some information on there about us. Our email address is also covwestproduction@gmail.com. So they can also send us an email.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for you, and I know this is a God-inspired. Yeah, it's brilliant. So thanks for talking to us.
You're most welcome.